What is up, guys? We're back at it again with another video. We're here talking about Batista, the WWE superstar Batista, the actor. You might know him from Guardians of the Galaxy playing Drax. He is significantly downsized. His video game came out about 2 weeks ago, and he was explaining about what all his tattoos mean, but I couldn't help but notice a significant loss, and I mean very, very drastic and notable loss in muscle size. Now, he's a bit older. I'm sure he doesn't care to carry all that muscle, but this is a very significant decline in just mass and what he used to look like. Batista was perpetually always big, lean, hard, dry, like 2 weeks out of competing on a bodybuilding stage all the time. And by no means is he a small guy, but comparing him to what he was before, he is a very just shadow of himself. I mean, we can take a look at what he looked like over here when he was peak WWE back in 2007. Look at that. I mean, chest, shoulders, arms, traps up to the top of his ears. Incredible amount of just size and conditioning and vascularity. You can see him playing Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy, which is actually not long ago. I think it was about how long ago was that? It was 6, 7 years. So it was a couple years ago, but you can still see that he has, for the most part, everything: chest, abdominal detail, traps and shoulders and arms. Everything is there, but just now lost everything compared to what he was before. Now, I know his focus is mainly, in fact, 100% on just acting. He wants to be a mainstream actor, and he's actually breaking into some pretty funny, serious, comical roles. So he's doing his job and he's actually pursuing his dreams, which I actually salute. But from what he was before to what he is now, it's very staggering transformation. Now, you do have some guys who work out and have a little bit of muscle, but Batista was an absolute freak. I mean, he was just one of the greatest physiques to ever grace a WWE ring. I think he weighs somewhere around 240, 250. I think some of the cards that he had, the cards, like when he would be on these pay-per-views and on Raw and SmackDown, and they would actually say the wrestler's weight, I think some of those peaked him up to 270 at a certain point. I mean, just his picture alone, he's just walking around, doing his job, being a wrestler, and he's covered in detail: chest striations, vascularity everywhere, abdominal definition, big massive traps, big massive shoulders. Incredible. This is probably the most famous photo of him. I think he was really young here. I think it was around 2005. Very, very early days for Batista. He didn't even have much tattoos at all, but chest is very full. He actually reminds me of a Paul Dillette. Very, very Paul Dillette-esque with the width of the chest. Paul Dillette had a very wide and thick chest, very, very wide. Batista has a similar build to a Paul Dillette, and I think Batista is actually over 6 foot as well. I think he's 6'1", if I'm not mistaken, and Paul Dillette is around that very same height range. But like I said, seeing where he was to where he is now, it is a shocking transformation. If I can't say anything else. Now, like I said, he's a bit older, and it's probably not about the muscle anymore. It's not probably not about the size and just being as big as possible. He's more comfortable in the roles he's playing on in these movies, and they don't really require him to be a big, hulkish bodybuilder figure. He might have a role in the future to where he does need to put back on some size, like if he plays like any of the Marvel characters or anything that might require more of a physical look. But like I said, he's doing a lot of comedy stuff. He's doing a lot of family-oriented movies. I think he did some voiceover for some animes as well, some cartoons, some animations. So I know he doesn't need to carry all the size that he did before. But shocking, but healthy. You know, it's not healthy carrying around 250, 60, 70 pounds of muscle. Him being probably 54, 55 now. He's definitely up there in age. I know he started wrestling kind of late in his life. He started late 20s, early 30s. That's where he kind of blossomed into his mid to late 30s, winning the World Heavyweight Championships and WWE Championships. and then getting into acting a little later in his 40s. So he definitely was a late bloomer to his careers when it comes to wrestling and acting. But even so, I just cannot believe just the regression in muscle. Now, we actually had a lot of wrestlers who've actually regressed quite a bit with their muscle. Scott Steiner, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. The only guy who has maintained, for the most part, down near all the muscle. In fact, they've gotten better with age is The Rock. You can actually see him here in this little side video that I have. He's cutting a promo. He's the only wrestler that probably John Cena as well. I know John Cena is also not as big as he once was, but The Rock is the only wrestler that has maintained that physique. And The Rock is 50. He's 51 this year. 51 this year, in the best shape of his life, still working out as hard as ever, never ever stopping. Whereas Batista just had other interests. It's not all about the muscles, not all about the size. And like I said, from a health perspective, it's healthier to be at a lower body weight than to carry around, like I said, 270 pounds plus of muscle, plus of just pure mass and muscle. That's a lot in your heart, a lot in your organs, a lot in your blood, a lot in your blood pressure. It is not a healthy thing to have a big body. Although you have muscle, and having muscle is healthy for you, it's great for your metabolism, it's great for keeping your weight under control. It's not great when you have that much muscle on you. It can have big, massive ramifications on your heart enlarging. There can be a lot of complications when it comes to carrying that kind of size. So I'm sure that was a consideration for Batista when it comes to him downsizing. I don't know if this was intentional. I don't know if he got sick. I don't know what his reasonings are for downsizing. But whatever they are, I do support it. And I just think it is the best thing health-wise. But guys, down below, let me know what you think about Batista. Incredible physique on stage. Think about bodybuilding. It's a bodybuilding channel. Incredible physique when it comes to wrestling and his earlier acting careers and his earlier roles. Still carrying that muscle, but then now older, not needing the size and that physique, downsizing. I think it's a better choice. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Quick video, guys. Hope you enjoy the video. Like, share, comment down below. And if you're not subscribed, make it a thing. Sub to the boy, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.